vomit rainbows.
This is episode 10. This is a milestone episode for us. We talk about Mike's history as a bad dad. We talk about why Walter should really find Patrick. And then we also talk about why dates on Tinder might be a bad idea if they take you back to a high rise. And then we follow up on the clowns to see how they're doing.
Yep. We also talk about some new fall fashion.
New fall fashion, absolutely. So anyway, I like grab that pussy and I put it in a harness, and fuck. That's how. Hey, wait, are you? That's how I train my Bengal.
We're recording, Doug. We're recording.
What?
Your cat training.
Oh, right. My cat training
techniques. Definitely.
Dude, I gotta tell you, that video was insane.
A great October surprise. I mean, you always know they're gonna put some stuff out, but that one, that's solid. That might be the best one in my lifetime.
Well,
to be honest with you, hands down.
I don't know if it's going to be the best because Mark Burnett, says that he's going to he'll fire and sue anyone who releases anything from The Apprentice.
Oh, wow.
Because apparently there's so much damning stuff from The Apprentice.
Well, the only thing, and listen, as far as The Apprentice goes, let's just shift from his conversation with Billy Bush to The Apprentice. The only thing I say about stuff being on tape as far as The Apprentice goes, sometimes in reality shows, right, you're going to be outrageous. Like, they're going to want you to say outrageous things. Uh-huh. Okay? So it's kind of like, I'm sure I've said on my Creepy show horrific, horrible things that, if you played, people would want to, throw me off the Golden Gate Bridge.
I'm sure.
But what people don't understand is when you're filming a TV show, you get together with the producer and they're like, be as offensive as you possibly can be to everybody. And then we went and did the show. You know what I mean? So as far as I think there's a difference between stuff stuff that's said on a show for entertainment and then stuff that is said in a locker room talk, conversation.
Right. Locker room talk.
Right? So, but yeah, a good October surprise. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I've got something that I have to have an honest conversation about you with.
Yes.
So I ran into a friend of yours, and he showed me a very disturbing video of you being a very bad dad. I'm going to post this, and it's brutal. I mean, I don't know if I can do this podcast anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to say a couple of words, and then you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's called Days Turn Blue to Gray. Very bad dad.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? yeah, very bad. I actually played Angry Dad in a rock and roll, like a heavy metal video for the band, the local band Machinehead, who are great. I mean, they're awesome. Rob Flynn, probably one of the best metal vocalists around. I mean, I saw Rob. I seen them open up for Metallica. I mean, they blew Metallica off the stage, hands down. But they asked me if I wanted to be the angry dad in their video for Days Turn Blue to Gray. And so I was, but it was the thing I didn't realize is that the song is actually about Rob's dad, and Rob's dad had all kinds of substance issues, and
you can tell. I mean, that's even the drawings that they do in it are so visceral. It felt like he was very hands on that.
He really was. Yeah, he was on set when we were filming those segments, and it's kind of a funny story. Well, I think it's kind of funny. It's kind of messed up, but kind of funny at the same time. The little kid, he was like a kid actor. And so when you're on set with the kid, his mom was there, and there's all kinds of people and everything. And so there's one scene in that video where I'm screaming at this kid, I mean, 5 inches from his face. I'm yelling at this little kid who might be 7, 8 years old,
right?
Maybe. And so it's a controlled environment, obviously. And they're like, okay, this the yelling scene. We're gonna do the yelling scene now. So his mom's sitting with the kid, and I said, hey, listen, I go, we're gonna film this, and the producers explain this, this is Mike. He's gonna scream at you. But he's not angry with you. He's not mad at you. He's just, this is part of the video. The kid's like, okay, I got it. And
it's dude, let's get on with this. I'm not a child.
Yeah, you're not. I know. So I tell the kid, I go, hey, listen, why don't you pick the word that I'm going to scream at you? Because I didn't want to scream profanities at him stuff. So he's like, okay. He's like, why don't you scream fire truck at me? He's like, okay.
Fire truck. That's awesome.
It's like, all right. So I'm sitting there, and they're like, action. And this kid's maybe 6 inches from my face. And, dude, I start screaming as loud as I can. Fire truck! fire truck, screaming, dude.
Right.
And also the kid, he just starts crying.
No way.
Runs to his mom. His mom's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like fucking hits me. And I'm like, totally, dude. And I'm like, I felt so horrible. I'm like, and the director's like, oh, geez, you know. And the mom's like, what the hell's wrong with you? You asshole. And I'm like, we just sat here.
I thought we went through this.
We just went through this for 15 minutes, explaining what was going to happen and explaining that I'm not mad at the kid. And the kid was done for the rest of the day, completely freaked out. I'm just like,
well,
oh my God.
If you were a couple inches from my face yelling fire truck at me, I'd probably be a little disturbed.
Yeah, probably should have had a breath mint. That's probably what it was.
Maybe that's what. Maybe it was more your breath.
It probably was.
All right. So anyway, I'm going to show you something that I think you're going to really like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man! Look at that.
I unzipped my jacket. I got you one. I didn't know if you wanted large or extra large.
What did you go for?
I went for large. I figured you were large. Here you go. Well, I have extra large for you too.
I probably would wear an extra large.
Okay.
All right. Look at this. This is awesome. We got merchandise, baby.
We have merchandise.
Yeah.
And that one's an exclusive episode 10.
This is commemorative. It's episode 10, which we're recording right now.
Right. Exactly.
Should I put this on right now, or is that
you should? No. I think you should put it on right now.
Okay. Yeah. This is awesome, man. Wow. Look at this. Woo.
Yeah. So that's where I ran into Cecil. He was going to one of his buddy's birthday.
Yeah.
And his buddy's birthday, he was getting a shirt done for him as well. Oop, that one has a tag on it. You can pull that off.
Are you supposed to keep the tags on?
No, not anymore.
Bang on shirts. Nice, man.
Bang on shirts. They were the ones that created it.
This is awesome. Huh. What birthday parties are you going to?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It was some band with a skull on it.
Of course it is.
And he was trying to make a hoodie that had the skull, skulls down the arm.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. And then he was printing the logo on the back, like a tramp stamp.
Oh, that's cool. We should get that done.
Yeah.
This is awesome, man.
We could get vomiting rainbows as a tramp stamp.
Yeah.
And then the skull on the front, or the skulls down the arm.
This is official, man. Are people going to be able to get these?
Yeah. Well, I'll figure out, and I'll put a link on the site.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
We have our own clothing line right now. We're taking big steps up. Episode 10, they say that...
and yeah, we haven't even said what we are yet. We're vomiting rainbows.
That's right. And they say episode 10. I mean, that's a landmark podcast. They say most podcasts don't go past 4 podcasts.
No.
The average podcast. People get excited, and then they're like, oh, this is.
Yeah, so anyway, we had this goal that we would hit this landmark, and then we would get either tattoos or T-shirts.
Yes.
I opted for T-shirts.
That's cool, man. That's awesome.
I know you want to get back into the shop and get more more tattoos.
I needed, any reason. I need any excuse to get a tattoo. That's what I always say.
So back to videos. Before I came over, I know the whole premise of this podcast is Mike doesn't know what I'm going to talk to him about, and I'm going to present him with a couple of stories, and he's going to react to them, not knowing anything about them. But there was one that I wanted you to see the video beforehand.
Yeah.
To kind of get an idea of what we were actually going to be talking about, just because it was relevant to a missing person.
Okay, do you want me to kind of describe the video?
Yes.
So Doug sent this video, and it's kind of like a guy, sending a video to a friend. I think his buddy's name's Walter, and it's this kind of, I would say, if you saw the video, you'd think the guy was kind of quote-unquote nerdy, kind of spazzy, maybe a little socially awkward, and he's talking about how he went to the mall with this girl, and how the girl went and tried all these clothes on, and bought some stuff at JCPenney, and they went to this jewelry shop. And then he's like, Walter, I'm going to show you her. I'm going to show you her. And then it kind of cuts to this guy going down into his basement, and he opens a door, and there's this girl tied up in this room screaming. He opens the door. She starts screaming, why me? Why me? Kind of screaming. And then he goes in and closes the door, and then the video ends.
Right.
Yes.
It's disturbing.
It's a little disturbing. I mean,
it really feels staged, though.
It really feels staged.
It feels scripted and not.
It feels super. It feels like a shock video for someone on the internet. I mean, that's what it feels like. Yeah. For a number of reasons. Number one, I mean, the guy, his whole delivery just doesn't seem real. Like people aren't really like that. And the stuff he even talks about, like he went to Kay's Jewelry and this girl and da da da. And it just sounds like he's making it up, which maybe he is. Maybe the girl's just been in his basement the whole time, and he's just imagining he went to the mall with her. But even the scene where you see the girl on the floor in the basement when the door opens up, the guy clearly had to set up a tripod of some sort to film that. And then she's not screaming the whole time. Like, she only screams as soon as the door opens. That's a little weird. And then the other thing that's weird is, like, he closes the door.
Right.
And that's it. Like, that's the end of the video. So those things to me make it seem not real. Just for a first view.
It does. It does seem, and a lot of people have deemed this a fake video.
Yeah.
Except for the police now are looking at it more seriously because it went viral.
Yeah.
And the mother saw the video, and the mother is convinced that's her daughter.
Wow.
So her daughter is Kayla Berg.
Yeah.
And she's a 15-year-old that went missing in 2009.
Yeah.
So this video appeared around 2011. So she would be a bit older.
Whoa. So that video came out in 2011?
Yeah.
And it's now 2016, and the mom's just seeing it?
Yeah. So the only reason that like, until maybe a few months ago, this only had like 7,000 views.
Got it. So it just went viral.
It just went viral. And the reason that it went viral is because some guy made, like, here are the most disturbing videos I've seen on the internet. And he found one of them.
Did Tanetta make the list?
What?
Tanetta? Are you familiar with Tanetta?
No, what's Tanetta?
Wow. I don't even know if you can find him on the internet anymore. He's like this, like, kind of singer rock guy who it's really disturbing. Anytime you try to pull it up, if you have any kind of filters on your neck, gets blocked. It's like you can't find Tanetta. It's a little, but it's not like this. It's not that disturbing. He's like a performance artist. I think he's French, maybe.
Right.
And he sings like these really kind of crazy songs and dances kind of naked or something. Like, it's just with these masks on. It's a little weird. It definitely makes you feel like you're watching some kind of horror movie or something. It's like a scene out of a horror movie. His videos are.
All right. Well,
so
I mean, yeah.
But he didn't make the list.
I don't know if Tanetta made the list. Okay. I didn't actually go through the list of other stuff. I just basically, this went, like, exploded. So now it's about 500,000 hits.
Yeah. And the guy isn't taking the video down.
The video is not on the channel anymore.
And
I think YouTube pulled it down.
Got it.
But now it's gone, and you can't post it back on YouTube, I don't think.
Got it.
Or you can post fractions of it.
Well,
but you can't. YouTube, I think, has.
But they found out who this guy is, right?
No, that's the other thing. So there's a guy somewhere that resembles this guy, and the police department has said, we know who this guy is. He is not involved with this at all, and stop stalking. People are, like, accosting him in the street and saying, we think you're involved with this. And he's like, dude, I don't know even what you're talking about.
Because he's not really the guy in the video.
He is not.
The guy in the video, no one knows who it is.
No one knows who it is.
But they couldn't figure it out through the YouTube channel and all that stuff. I mean, it's the internet, for Christ's sakes. We have big data. Isn't that what all those things in Utah are about?
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is it seems really clear. Like, I mean, I didn't spend enough time with the video to play around
I
with
watched it once.
Yeah. But the video, I don't know if you noticed, but his glasses have a reflection that's pretty clear. So you can see almost the other side of the room. And if you step through this video, I'm sure you can almost see exactly what is going on the other side of his glasses. So if there's another person filming, which kind of, like, when I was looking at it, it kind of looked like somebody was holding a camera or something.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell for sure.
I mean, this is the thing. The dude's definitely kind of wacky.
Yeah.
And you really don't get, I mean, the girl is definitely, it's hard to get a clear look at her.
Right.
But it's hard to believe, like, a guy like that actually knows girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, people are into horror. People are into, shock art, So who knows? Maybe this chick is like, let's make a freaky video, like a freaky Halloween video or something.
Yeah, I think, but the problem is that she's been missing since 2009.
And the mom's convinced that this is the girl.
The mom is, yes.
Yeah.
The other thing that was really weird is
Yeah.
almost all the videos on this are from Spain. So, like, all the analysis are from Spain.
Yeah.
So that seems really odd. Like, it hasn't even, I mean, this is the first, Heavy was the first one that I know of to pick up the fact that it's something trending in the U.S. or even that it's going on.
I mean, they don't have JCPenney in Spain. Right?
I know.
So it was filmed in America.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of this crazy mystery that's popping up again.
Now, dude, what if this guy ends up, like, he did this back in, 2009 the video was filmed?
Right.
Or 2011? Or 2009 he filmed
Right.
it? Like, okay, so that's 7 years ago. Like, he looks probably, like, in his 20s, right?
Right.
Like, what if this guy's, like, married with kids, has a career as a teacher?
Right.
And also this, like, wacky video he made, like, also pops up. Like, I mean, that could be pretty damaging to his, to his career.
His political career.
Political career, right? Like, I don't know.
It might trump him.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's the thing. Like, what? Okay, so let's paint that scenario out. Like, what if this guy was just into horror movies and was trying to make a scary video, right? Like,
or he was just trying to fuck with the internet. You know, like even Kimmel has fucked with the internet. Like he did that, the girl falling over and setting herself on fire by like doing like a booty shake on the wall. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And then he had her come out and it turns out she's like a stunt woman.
Yeah.
And everyone, like even her friends were like calling her, asking her if she was okay. And she's like, I can't tell you too much about this right now, but I'm going to be outed on the Kimmel show, and they're basically going to say the internet's gullible.
Yeah.
So this could, it definitely could be one of those things where he's.
But what if it's not? That's the question. That's why it's a fascinating story.
Right.
What if this guy really has this girl locked up in a basement?
Yeah, I mean, so the other thing is that there was a boyfriend before that, and the boyfriend, she was on her way to see her boyfriend, and he wasn't convicted of anything, but he was closely looked at. And he had admitted being with her earlier in the day.
At a mall?
Driving around, and they were smoking marijuana together.
Yeah.
So they almost prosecuted him for endangering her life because she's a minor.
She was high.
And she was high at the time.
See, it's tough because like if a young kid gets super high and wanders off into a field and gets lost.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you're getting high at the park and all of a sudden, like, I'm taking off. She's like, okay, I'm going to walk home. And then she never seen again because she gets high and lost in the forest. Like,
right.
I mean, I guess there's some liability there, right?
Yeah. Well, especially if it's an older boyfriend and.
Yeah.
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 So anyway,
Crazy.
they're looking for this guy. They actively want to know who he is. There's a reward for any information that leads to this guy.
Now, let me ask you a question. If you're that guy and you turn yourself in, do you get the reward?
I don't know.
Because if this was me and this was just like a prank video, like something I did for Creepy Coffee, I'd be like, hey, yo, this is just a video. That was my friend Stacy. We filmed this. We were just, we were goofing off.
Right.
Like, would you want to clear your name immediately? Like, the fact that we're talking about it means enough people have heard about this where it's a thing.
Right.
It's just a matter of time until it breaks over to this dude. And a coworker or someone's going to go, hey, bro, I just saw you, I just heard you on Vomiting Rainbows.
Yeah.
Doug and Mike are talking about you. You better turn yourself in and get that reward.
You better. I think that would be amazing if he turned himself in. He was like, "I'm here for the reward for the video."
Do it live on Dr. Phil.
Exactly. Come out
an exclusive.
Show his medical records.
Yeah, I got an exclusive for you, Dr. Phil.
Oh, that wasn't Dr. Phil. That was
whatever.
We're a fact-oriented podcast.
Exactly, that's true.
But yeah, so that was John Bonet was Dr. Phil.
That's right.
Did you watch any of that?
No. I tried to limit my Dr. Phil intake, man. I heard it's bad for your manliness.
I definitely think it is. Yeah.
What a crazy story, man! Like that just shows you how crazy the internet is. Although it's tough because the mom, I mean, when you lose a child gets kidnapped. I mean, you're, believe it or not, you're probably hoping that you see her in some video so you can try to locate her, right?
Right.
Now, what if it's this? What if it is the daughter? And the daughter's just run away with this guy, and they still just were doing the video for fun. But,
right.
It's, like she's really not in harm's way. She ran off with this guy, and they're just making a goofy shock video. And so all of a sudden the mom's like, "Oh my God, that guy's torturing my daughter," and the daughter's like, "No, this is my friend Kevin. We just made a goofy video,
and we're just fucking with you because you're a mean mom, and I ran away when I was 15 or something." Yeah, yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's
this is why there are police.
Exactly.
Figure this stuff out.
Well, I thought for sure Detective Mike would come out and solve the case.
Well, there's a number of there are a number of possibilities. I just named one. The other one is I think it could not be her daughter, and it's just a fake video.
Yeah,
that seems probably most likely.
That seems most likely.
It would just be so unbelievable if, they found this guy and it was that girl, and he was crazy enough to put something that's on the internet and really abducted somebody. But we live in unbelievable times, so that is also a possibility.
Yeah, and a lot of people have tried to debunk this video and tried to figure out exactly what it is. If it's Walter's girlfriend, and this guy is making a really weird video, and it's Walter's girlfriend, and he's fucking with Walter. And there's a lot of things like that, because at the very bottom in the description of of that guy's YouTube channel where this first appeared, it says, "I'm posting this video to find my friend Walter," and it's just Patrick looking for Walter.
Yeah,
it's just one of those dark web-ish type videos that just is really at the end of the video you're just like, I need a shower.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when we started talking about it, I mean, there were several key factors where I was like, this is a fake video,
right?
But you never know. I mean, like I said, fantasy's reality in the world today.
Yeah, one guy tried to dissect it all and say why it was fake. It was scripted, and right at the very last, at the bottom, when she's at the bottom of the stairs and he's about to open the door, it sounds like for a second he says action. And then when he goes to open the door, before he opens the door, she's not making any noise at all.
Yeah. Now, what if this guy is so crazy, okay, and he's such a psychopath that he knows all that, and so he basically tells this girl you're going to act, we're going to film a movie,
right?
And when I say action, you're going to start screaming. So it seems like it's a fake movie, but it's really this guy's really that insane.
Well, that's the other thing that this guy said is this guy clearly seems off. He doesn't seem normal.
Yeah.
And anyone who even comes up with this idea, just the
I got a lot of friends that would think of something like this, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is one of the guys named Doug?
Maybe. Maybe.
All right. Well, anyway, so
good story.
Yeah, good time. So we're gonna jump on to. I'm pretty sure. Remember, a while back, didn't we talk about Tinder dating and this guy who met this girl and he recorded the whole thing, their whole meeting, and then she fell off a balcony?
Oh, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I was trying to look through the podcast, but my research time window is really short.
Sure. So, 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, 3 to 4 minutes. So I was remembering this, but one of our listeners sent this to us. Her name's Alyssa, and she said sent this as a follow up. And so so this guy is now getting prosecuted for murder.
Okay, so set the whole story up. They met on Tinder.
Yeah,
they went on a date, and she ended up getting thrown off a balcony, right?
Or
fell off a balcony.
So here's what happened. They met on Tinder. They go out drinking. He brings her back to his apartment, but he's had a lot of mishaps recently. And so because of these mishaps, apparently he starts recording everything that goes on.
What do you mean, mishaps? Like ED, like erectile dysfunction? What are you talking about?
He's had a lot of brushes with the law.
Okay. So he's got his house wired. He's got his house filmed and stuff.
No, just wired.
Just for sound. Just for sound.
He's I guess got his phone with the video or the audio recorder on.
Now, if you start tapping yourself, is that a sign of insanity? Is that are you going to listen back? Do you end your day listening back to your day? What do you do with that audio? That's so much audio.
And obviously he kept it, and he thinks that it exonerates him, and it does sound like what he says happened.
What does he say?
Okay, so what happens is he brings this girl back. Apparently, she's belligerently drunk.
Mm-hmm.
She starts punching him and hitting him, and he tells her she's got to go.
Yeah.
You got to leave. You got to get out of here. And
the exit's that way, and she just walks off the balcony.
He basically,
really,
I mean, it's not like that, but he
thought that the balcony was the front stairs.
No. So what happens is she refuses at one point to leave, and then he's like, "No, you've got to go," and then they start, I guess, making up again.
Crazy. And then the guy's thinking, "Oh, this chick might be super crazy. Maybe this is gonna be worth it."
But I think they had already had sex by this point.
Okay.
And so here I wanna get some of the snippets from her. Oh,
this is the actual audio.
Yeah, from the actual audio. I don't know if we can play it here, but I'll read you a couple of snippets.
Yeah.
At 1 a.m., she says, "I know you're going to kill me because you told me so." That's the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "I'll throw you off the balcony, and that's going to be it. It's just going to be boom." Then there's like music playing. And then he goes, "Al, stop beating up on me." And he goes, "There's a ton of your stuff here." They start having a heated conversation. And then she says, "I will fucking destroy your jaw. This is not fucking funny." And he says, "I should have never given you so much. I should have never given you so much drink. I thought we were having so much fun." He's like, "I don't deserve this shit. I'm a nice guy. Remember we were having fun like a half hour ago and you started beating up on me exactly for no reason?" She goes, "Exactly. I thought you were just trying to be funny or something. Why are you beating up on me?" And she goes, "I'm gone. I'll be out of your hair. I'm going." And then she apparently she gets on her phone. She gets her phone out, and she says, "I'll see you later." And he goes, "You're such a drama queen." Then he says, "Can we discuss this? You're just being a little bit violent. Maybe I can cook you something." And she's like, "Don't be a dick." And then he's like, "I'm not being a dick." And he goes,
I want him to cook me something.
And then
he's being a reasonable guy. He's getting beat up by a girl. And he's trying to settle it down.
And then she goes, "I want to go over," or she goes, "Can I have a look?" And he goes, "Don't jump off or anything." And she goes, "No." And then there's like a struggle. And then she goes, "That really hurt my vagina." And then apparently they start laughing. And then she goes, "You sound like a faggot." And then he goes, "All right, I give up. What do you want?" And then there's a loud bang, and he goes, "Ow." And he goes, "You're not my kind of girl. That's enough. You've worn out your welcome. You have to leave." And she goes, "Okay, it's all good." And he goes, "No, you have to leave." And he goes, "I've had enough of this. You're fucking bullshit. You're lucky I haven't chucked you off the balcony. You're such a psycho bitch." And then he goes, "You're such a psycho. I'm going to let you go, but you need to walk out of my apartment. Don't collect any of your stuff. Just get the fuck out." And he's like, "Come on, get up, get up." And she's like, "I'm so sorry." And he goes, "I don't care. You don't understand, do you?" And then there's more sounds of a struggle. And he goes, "Let go. You think that hitting me is going to, like, I'm just going to fall down like in the movies? Let go." And then there's consistent sounds with a door unlocking. And then she starts saying no. And then he's like, "Who the fuck? Who do you think you are?" And then you hear a bunch of no's. And then he's like, "Are you trying to kill me? You're going to hit me with that? Shut your mouth." And then there's more screaming and a bunch of no's. And then these are like, I heard the video recording of this, and these no's are just like almost terrifying.
Who's is it? Her nose?
The girl.
Oh yeah.
And then this guy Tostee at the end, he goes, "You've been such a bad girl." And she's like, "I just want to go home. Let me go home. Let me go home." And then there's a faint scream, detective. And then he says, "Shit." And then he's like, "Where the fuck are my keys?" And so that's when apparently she went out on he says that he locked her on the balcony to let her calm down.
Yeah.
And apparently she tried to escape the balcony by climbing off of it and going to another balcony and fell 14 floors.
Ooh.
And so he's saying it's not his fault, but she was out of control.
He locks her. That man, I didn't see that twist coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he calls his dad, and he's like, "Why does this shit keep happening to me?" And like, "Dad, I'm really like nervous. The cops are like looking for me, and I need you to come over right now." Like,
did he call the cops and say, "Hey, dude, this chick just fell off my
no,
balcony"?
he called his dad.
Yeah.
Because like,
that's okay. Okay, did the dad say, "Hey, stay there. We got to call the police"? Yeah,
exactly.
Like, okay. So I mean, I get that the dude's panicking. Like, I mean, if put yourself in this person's shoes, okay? Like, if you say you're a lady, okay,
right.
and you have a guy coming over and he's all belligerent, you get him out on the balcony. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna jump over this balcony." Jumps off and falls.
Right.
You're gonna be freaked out.
Right.
You're like, "Oh my god, this guy that I just met, he was wasted. He was being belligerent. I threw him out on the balcony for my safety. I locked the door, and he just fell off my balcony." Maybe you're not going to call the cops. You're going to call like your mom or your friend and go, "Oh, my God, you're not going to have this dude just fell, and I think he's dead."
Well, like, there's glass breaking and things like that. So when he says, like, "I can't believe you hit me with that," like, he's saying she was attacking him with something, and he was like, "Get the fuck on the balcony."
Yeah,
like,
at that point, at that point, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's at that point, maybe you leave your own apartment and just call the police. Like, at that point, maybe you just get away from the person that's beating you.
I don't think.
I don't know.
I think putting her on the balcony is weird, but the other thing...
I don't think it's that weird. I mean, she's out of the house, he goes and locks her out because he doesn't want to keep getting hit. Like, that doesn't seem that strange.
Yeah, but at the very beginning...
It's weird that he starts talking about, "I'm going to throw you off the balcony."
Yeah.
He said you were going to kill me. Like, that's the thing. The falling off the balcony thing seems like it was kind of planted early on in the night.
That's what they're saying, is that very early in the conversation, she says, "I know you're trying to kill me." And then he says, "Yeah, like, basically, I'm going to throw you off the balcony." And then somehow she ends up falling off the balcony.
Poor choice of words.
Right.
Yeah. Ugh. Man.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy has been obviously charged with murder in her case. He also has like a long list of like outstanding charges for mostly drunk driving, fighting with the police, like altercations type stuff.
Well, it's kind of like that. Like, I think we were when we were talking about this first, we were talking about that one show, The Night Of, right?
Right.
Where like the dude's blacked out, he doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
The question is, are you liable for killing someone if you're completely blacked out?
Right.
I would say yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's sorry.
But you can if you listen to the tape.
Yeah.
He's talking to her through the window, and before you can hear her on the tape, and then all of a sudden she's muffled. So she's on the other side of the glass. You can tell that he's shut.
Closed.
Yeah, and he's on one side, and she's on the other.
So see that? I mean, that's some serious evidence right there, right? That's some audio evidence where it's like, dude, I was on the other side of the glass.
Yeah.
She got wacky, thought she was Spider-Man, and fell off the balcony. Like I can't control that.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just.
Situation.
If we have Australian listeners, so it's an Australian guy and a New Zealand girl. So you
saying there's a beef between Australia and New Zealand? Like,
no, I'm just saying, like, if we start getting international, maybe our New Zealand contingent can figure out what's going on. Can fill us in and send us some feedback on this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, you think about all the crazy stuff that people do when they're wasted, and it's just jumping from balcony to balcony is not the greatest idea.
No,
but people do. People just. Their decision making is the first thing to go. Their sound decision making leaves the room, and
it's just the one thing that just gets me really with this whole thing is that he was recording the whole thing.
Yeah, it's super goofy. It's super goofy, but at the same time, I mean, a lot of people have cameras in their houses, nanny cams. A lot of people, surveillance themselves, self-surveillance.
And his dad had him tested for autism, so there's a little bit of like. Maybe he's autistic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's going to make someone throw someone off a balcony.
No, no. I mean, that's why he's saying that he recorded it was because he's a little bit more detail oriented.
Yeah, and I don't think that I don't think because someone records themselves. I don't in this day and age with the way technology is. I don't think that's necessarily a strange thing.
No, Well, especially, I mean, it sounds like he has a privileged life.
I mean, if I've learned anything from this current election, it's consider yourself being recorded at all times.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to come out.
Yeah, it's going to come out.
And so one last thing that I want to touch on is another update. So we talked about that one before, and since this is our 10th episode, we have to go on to the most reoccurring theme that we have had in this entire podcast.
Tuesday T-shirt,
which is your Tuesday. So it says definitely Mike's Chabot Lake T-shirt.
Chabot.
He's worn it the last 3 times. I haven't even brought it up in the podcast, but it is absolutely amazing. I feel like it's going to be your lucky game shirt.
Yeah. So today I opened the door to get Doug, and he's like, "Dude, you got that same shirt on." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You've had on the same 3 weeks every Tuesday. Wear that shirt." I go, "I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm planning on doing it. It's just the T-shirt. It's like my only non-black rock T-shirt."
Right, and it just calls to you every time you pull it out.
It's like in the wash cycle, so it's probably in like the clean bin. I'm like, "Oh, look, there's a blue T-shirt."
Hold on, to be fair. The last time I talked to you about this, which we had a conversation the last time, you're like, I have 3 of them. So, you pull them out a lot.
I don't have 3 of these shirts.
Well, then you lied.
Maybe I only have 3 shirts. Maybe I only have 3 T-shirts. I don't have a lot
of
clothes,
No.
man.
You said you had a couple of the Chabot T-shirts.
Maybe. I don't know. I go fishing there, man. I like it. I dig
it. Maybe. And you get stuff on them, and then you buy an extra shirt.
Yeah.
And then it ends up in the wash, and then 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
I think what really is happening is
at least I'm washing my clothes.
I'm going to come by here tomorrow, and I'm just going to see if you're wearing the Chabot T-shirt.
You know what's weird is there was a dude when I was in college. I would do odd jobs, anything for money. This is before the internet,
right?
And there would be people would put, believe it or not, at colleges they would put little 3x5 cards on these cork boards, these bulletin boards, basically, and it'd be like, "Hey, I need my house moved. Call me." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so when you're a student, you're like, "Hey, man, $10 an hour, $5, whatever. I can make some extra money." So there was this guy that we would move. Me and my roommate Dave. We'd move this guy, and so the first time we move him, we meet him, and he's wearing all blue, like blue eyes on, blue pants, and he's a pretty big dude,
right?
And so we go to his house, we start moving his stuff, and we open his closet, and he has 5 blue same clothes,
right?
5 of the same shirt, 5 of the same pants, 5 of the same. Everything. That's it.
Right.
And we're like, whoa, man, what's up with that? He's like, oh, he's a guy with the same clothes every day. He's like, it saves me time in the morning.
Right.
I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear. I always look the same. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of interesting.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
You're like, cool.
He was a unique dude. I think he worked for NASA. He was like an engineer and everything.
Right.
Really, really intelligent guy. And the funniest thing was, so we go to his closet, some other closet, and there's this box and it's open, and I look at it and it's filled with all these red shirts and red pants, and so I go to the guy, I go, "What are these for?" And he goes, "Oh, that's when I was a lot thinner."
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then the weirdest thing was we moved him to this other place, and then we were doing some painting and stuff, and he would leave the key under the mat or whatever. And it was in his new place, in the master bedroom. We go in there, and there's a card table set up in this walk-in closet. And on the card table is a briefcase, and that's the only thing in the closet.
Right.
And so we're painting and stuff, and he's moved in. Okay,
right.
But that's just in his room, and we're kind of we're painting and stuff, and and he's gone. He's not coming back till 6 p.m. whatever. And there's this briefcase in the middle of
Nelly. You full on nosy, right in it,
dude. Of course, I mean, it's but before we went in and opened it up, we're like, dude, he had to have put that there, knowing, dude, that we're gonna look at that. There's no that is so set up for 2 dudes in college,
right? To
ignore that is just not possible.
It's not feasible.
So we go in there, dude. And it's one of 000.
Right.
We go. And we open it up, and inside, dude, are 3 VHS tapes of the most hardcore pornography.
Oh my god!
50 chicks on 100 dudes. Just these orgy video, just these craziest, just the most horrific, obscene pornography you could ever possibly imagine being put on a video. Was right there, 3 in a row. And we open it up, we're like, oh man, and we just closed it and locked it. We're we made sure that we were out of there before he got back, because we wouldn't be able to look at him. You know what I mean? It was just what? Too much information.
Yeah, he was probably like, it probably was something like Charlie the Train on each one of them, but he was like, they'll never look at these videos.
Yeah, no, that's that. And then we were like on the way back, we're like, dude, he want us to like put those videos on, and then him come home, like, let's get some girls over, like you know, any college chicks, or like I don't like why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like
amazing, dude.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, maybe you just want to see if we were like snooping around. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, maybe some kind of
like a trust test.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but it's just like so like.
You probably didn't remember the number that the combination was on before, so when you set it back, he knows.
Yeah, something. I don't know, but it was definitely kind of weird.
Did he have a basement with a bathroom, and did he look?
No. But he did have me.
Did he look a little bit like that video that we?
Yeah, a little bit. But he did. You know, what he did have me do. He had me drill like these metal kind of board holders into the studs of the wall, so he could put like a bunch of 2x4s. His bedroom had double doors,
right?
That opened in to the bedroom. So he had me put all these braces along the sides of the door so he could put like 3 2x4s when he went to bed. And he goes, yeah, I put my 3 2x4s, 8 foot, 10 foot 2x4s in there. And he goes, and I put my gun on my table. He's like, so I figure if anyone's going to kick through the door, he's like, I can shoot him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was like, all right, cool, man. Like, I'll drill him in there for you. So, I mean, I think, you know, and he was also like, he was a super smart dude, and he would talk to us about, you know, how the government was taken over after World War II by, like, you know, foreign dignitaries, and he had this whole crazy conspiracy about, you know, how the country's been overthrown, but no one's aware of it, and he was a pretty intense guy. He was more intense. Or you know, he was most intense when it came to his pornogaphy, though. Because it was just like, dude, like how the mind could process that.
I think we're just lucky you're here.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I think he probably didn't hire you after that because you violated the
trust code.
The trust code.
Yeah. Put it this way, my mind was scarred just looking at the covers of these pornos.
Wow.
Can't imagine. Like,
that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty classic.
So one last thing, really, where I was going with this is, guess where the clown thing has gone next. So we've talked about the clowns several times on this podcast.
Yeah,
so there have been a lot of clown sightings, and the clown sightings have basically not been a lot of violence, but a lot of people trying to incite fear in people.
Yeah.
And they'll be carrying a knife or something.
Yep.
And this guy just outside of Melbourne. So
it went international.
Yeah, international.
Okay.
So a bunch of people have been actually spotted in Australia now doing this.
Yeah.
And the police arrested him. And I didn't know this, but there's a possessing a form to cover your identity, like basically a mask, is punishable by 2 years in Australia.
Wow.
So I think Halloween is a really dangerous time to go out there.
That's unbelievable. So the guy's going to jail for 2 years for dressing like a clown.
Well, this guy was carrying an axe and like but it sounded like he was just mocking things because he was like he was in a drive-through line and like coming up to cars and like holding it.
Yeah, but you don't do that kind of stuff, dude. I mean, you know, like you just don't do that.
But it's almost Halloween.
I don't know, man. But you know, a lot of people don't realize like what's illegal and what you know, I remember in San Francisco a while ago, someone was taking railroad ties and like big screws and putting them through baseball bats and chaining them to parking meters and just leaving them all around, you know. And it's like you can't carry a weapon like that around. You know what I mean? Like it's illegal to carry something like that just down the street. You can't walk. I mean, as cool as you think it might look, you can't walk around with a baseball bat with metal spikes sticking out of it. Like you can't do that. You can't.
No.
You know.
All right. Didn't know that. Yeah. Good to know.
Just let everyone know.
This is the more
deadly
you
weapon.
I feel like a big star should shoot up and it should say the more you know.
Yeah, exactly. Safety first.
All right. Well, so that's basically our episode 10. Thank you for listening to Vomiting Rainbows. Follow us on social media at We Vomit Rainbows. And we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can listen to us on Google Play, iTunes, and Stitcher. That's it. Comments and ratings help us a lot.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.